Okay, let's start off. So today's webinar is all about the crucial role that sample integrity plays. Um, and we have to understand that every report that comes onto um, the paper, the value that is on the paper should be the value which is there in the patient's body. So, our utmost importance is to be given to sample integrity. Now, if the sample integrity is lost, the value is totally wrong. It is not the value in the patient's body. And once it is deteriorated, like it's like I keep referring to cooking. If the dish is spoiled, would we be able to eat it? It has, the purpose is lost. So having a sample which is very, 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 very on par, the ingredients, the constituents in the sample should be on par exactly how it is in the body. When that happens, then the value on that report will be exactly how it was at that point of time when the sample is taken. So that is what everybody, all of us should understand, that we've all been concentrating on equipment, QC, calibration, but we've realized that a percentage of errors happen at that point. The major percentage, 65% of the errors happen here. And none of us are actually concentrating on this area. We might say, okay, once a sample comes to us, we are doing a good job. No, our responsibility is right from the time the doctor thinks about ordering the test, because we should educate them onto what are the latest tests that are there, what is the sensitivity, what is the specificity, when do you collect the sample, what is the time of collection, what is the patient preparation, how the sample has to be collected, which container it has to be collected. It is our duty, it is our role to tell them how it has to be collected. And that is the crucial role that we need to play. If we say, okay, we put a sample, the value came in, it's garbage in, garbage out. No, we all have to now concentrate on the pre-analytical phase, which is 65% of the times the report is wrong. And all of us, we think it's not our area. It is our area. And that is why in 15189 2022, POCT is also come in. And I wish it becomes that every doctor undergoes training in how to order tests, when to order tests, what instructions to give the patients. Because patient preparation is very important, sample collection is very important, be it for anything, be it for microbiology, pathology, biochemistry, anywhere. When we collect, how we collect is very, very important. Now, first of all, hi everyone. Thank you for taking the time to join me today. And I wanted to have this conversation with all of you about something that is incredibly important to our work and more importantly to the patients who depend on us. I wanted to put up this slide because we all became doctors to treat patients. And somewhere along the line, we are not dealing with patients directly, but indirectly, and that connection is gone. What it actually, when you go to a patient, when you talk to a patient, when you see the patient, when you feel he's sick. So it's very, very important that we understand what it is all about. So it's very, very important that we understand that on the other side, the sample that we have is of a patient. So we know that 65% errors happen, and that is a challenge. We have to acknowledge that challenge. We have to take it upon ourselves. If we want correct reports, if we really want to help patients, we have to understand all the challenges and we have to acknowledge them and we have to address them. I know sometimes because nobody is holding us accountable for the small details, it might seem easy to cut corners or just do a bare minimum to get by. But I want to take a moment to explain why that mindset can be dangerous, not just to our work, but to the people who rely on us. All the patients who are there, they trust us, they're paying us. And because they are paying us, we are able to get our salaries. And because of our salaries, we are able to run our houses and put our children into. So we owe it to them that we do a good job. Like, see, if a maid comes to our house and you pay her and she does only half the work or she does it wrong, don't we all feel very miserable about it? At least here it's not harming, but with patients, our wrong value is harming the patient. So it's time that we all get in and understand that it's time to connect to the bigger picture. We need to connect to the bigger picture as each of us play a crucial role in ensuring that not just every test result of every sample and every procedure we do it with utmost accuracy and care. And these are not just another task on a checklist. These are actually steps in a process that directly affect the health and well-being of real people, people who trust us to do it right. So that is the reason why I keep telling that it is very, very important that we do our work properly. Now, coming to the consequences, we all know that if we don't do this properly, there are consequences. And what are the consequences? I want to share a little story with you about a hospital acquired infection. A small mistake that could have been avoided if someone had just taken a little more time to double check their work. And that one moment of carelessness had a ripple effect and led to serious consequences. And it didn't happen to anybody else. It happened in my own family. It happened to my three members of my family: my father, my mother in law, and my cousin. My father went in for a CABG and he landed up with hospital acquired infections. My mother in law went for a simple laminectomy and she was a practicing gynecologist. And what happened was she had lateral popliteal nerve paralysis because of septic arthritis. She had infection. And another cousin of mine who had an implant put and it got infected and he had to get his leg and amputated. Now, my mother in law stopped her gynecology practice and she's been on a walker since 35 years. My father still suffers with the massive amount of keloids that he has. Our businesses went down crashing because we'd given power of attorney to somebody. So we have to understand that one small, it can happen. It's if three instances happen in my life, imagine all over the world how many people are getting affected. So every patient, every situation, every sample is very, very, very important. A point one difference if a person is having a heart attack or not heart attack. If we give it as troponin normal and he dies, that family is never going to have a mother, brother, sister. Or so that is the important which. So we need to take responsibility. We have, if we really want to call ourselves doctors, we need to take responsibility. And remember, you have the power to prevent such outcomes. We have a lot of power. And that comes by we taking ownership of our tasks, by striving to get things right the first time. Remember, we are not just doing a job, we are saving lives. And that's something to be very, 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 very proud of. Every report we are saving lives. I remember my staff, Sharmila, I said, aren't you tired after doing? No, ma'am. When I go back to sleep, I know the number of people I have helped get better. So I really feel very nice. So take ownership of the task that we are doing. And yes, resistance. There's a lot of resistance. Why? And that is the reason we don't go the extra mile, because we feel overwhelmed. We feel, oh, this is too much. Why bother? We don't know because we are not trained. It is not part of our curriculum, or we're just not motivated enough because we don't come in contact with the patients. If that's the case, I want to hear from you. Don't we all, we are a team, and my responsibility is to ensure to support all of y'all in your training with all the resources for y'all to do your job well. Over so many years, literally working so hard, now I've penned down everything and make use of this. Learn, come, listen, go implement. I want y'all to do that. I'm here to support y'all. And if you feel that you need more training or guidance, do not hesitate to ask. Remember, me and my team are now, we are no longer in this to just do something, naam ke vaste. No, we are here committed to help each of you succeed in your role. And there's no shame in asking. I remember how many times I went knocking on everybody. What is MU? What is this? What is that? I didn't know so many things. And remember, when you ask and you get and you implement, it's a sign of strength. And it is a desire to improve. So I also want to remind you all that the skills and precision that you develop here are not just for this job. They're for your career and your entire future. By mastering these tasks, you'll build a foundation, beautiful foundation for growth, whether they're here or anywhere you go. You'll never forget all these things. So I want you all to collaborate, share your knowledge, and whatever you learn today, go and share with somebody. The moment you tell somebody, your knowledge increases because it will get retained. And we become stronger when we work together. And every one of us should excel. So I want each one, before I start this webinar, I want us all to make a commitment today to ourselves, to each other, that we will commit to our work with diligence. How many of y'all endorse this, that it's time that we understand that what we do is very powerful and it matters? And anything that you need, you just have to talk and the doors are open. So I want all of y'all in the chat box who really resonate with what I'm saying. You feel that today you have the power of doing something good for patients, the reason why you joined medicine. Please type out yes, 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 yes. And that is the motivation for all of us to go forward and continue our journey. Type out in there, I'm not continuing till I see the chats buzzing. Yes, absolutely. We should be proud of the profession that we have taken. It is not everybody who are in this capacity where we can help all the patients in the hospital. See, one doctor will help one patient, another doctor will help other patient, but we in the lab can help everybody. Remember the power that we have. And we can really, at the end of the night, we know we've done a good job. So with that, thank you everyone. And let's continue to strive for excellence in everything we do. Our job is to empower ourselves and empower the next generation.